Now at 5, the latest on a new housing project in Joplin that could help address a need for affordable homes as city leaders plan to clear out an old hospital to make room. Plus, a grant helping Miami's public library transform how it serves people with disabilities. And
the Supreme Court hears arguments on the sweeping injunctions used to block President Trump's restrictions to birthright citizenship. I'm Erica Brown at the Supreme Court with more on the high-stakes hearing.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Plans for a new low-income housing development in Joplin are in the very early stages, but the city planner has provided an artist's rendering of how it could look. This is KOIM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The plan is for 3 two-story duplexes along Sargent Avenue between 20th and 21st Streets. As we've reported, the city plans to demolish the old Freeman Hospital that's fallen into disrepair currently on that site. City officials say Joplin has a shortage of affordable housing for low-income residents, and in fact, it's a problem statewide.
Very difficult to build affordable housing at very low incomes or at the getting closer to the middle incomes, because the other programs available tend to be more in the 60% affordability range of area median income. So this is actually a very needed rental development.
The city has not yet established a timeline for demolition of the old hospital or construction of the new housing. The future of the Miami Public Library begins today. The library received a grant from the American Library Association's Transforming Communities initiative. The library plans to use the money to improve services and materials for disabled patrons. But first, the library is giving the public an opportunity to weigh in on what is specifically needed to accomplish that. They held one public meeting this morning. Another begins at 5:30.
We saw based off of our surveys and what we observed, but then you have to have these discussions. It's a requirement because they want to make sure that you're serving those people and your target audience with what they actually need. So we wrote it for what we wanted, but if we have these discussions and they say this is what we need instead, then we have to rewrite to ALA and say this is what the community said they needed instead.
Again, the public meeting begins at 5:30 at the Miami Public Library. That's at 200 North Main. Next month, Southeast Kansas will be represented at the national level. The Fort Scott Community College Rodeo team is qualified for the College National Finals Rodeo in Casper, Wyoming. The entire team is qualified, but they're able to bring just 6 men to compete in bareback riding and saddle bronc. The team is coached by Chad Cross, who's been with the Fort Scott team for 28 years. He says every year he tries to push his athletes to be the best they can be, with nationals as a goal.
They'll be the 40 best rodeo athletes in every event there, and it's over the nation. And it's an exciting week, and you have to kind of have things go your way, but I think we can go there and be competitive.
We're for sure confident, but it's one of those things like we know what we want, we know what we need to do to get there. We're just going to go out there and just do our job like we would anywhere else.
The College National Finals Rodeo will start on June 15th. Tonight at 6, we're going to have more details on the work the athletes put in to make it to the national level. Right now, though, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be another beautiful day for us today. Temperature is fantastic. We stay into the 80s over the next several days, but some thunderstorms scattered, trying to move in early tomorrow morning. Saturday, fairly warm and nice. Saturday night and Sunday, more thunderstorms, which are going to be heading in our direction. Tonight's pretty calm. Slide back near 60, so a little bit cooler for us tonight. But once we get to 8, 9, 10 a.m., we're going to have some rapidly developing thunderstorms and pushing in. Some of these could go low-grade severe, so we got to watch that, especially in our southeastern counties. And then pushing out of here very quickly, should be gone once we get into the noon hour, and then we shape up and see a pretty nice Friday. More thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll look at that here in a bit.
Catch in a few. Supreme Court justices appeared torn today between the power of lower courts to issue nationwide injunctions on President Trump's executive orders versus the merits of his order ending birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to non-citizen parents, the issue at the heart of the case. Erica Brown has more details now from the Supreme Court.
Immigration advocates demonstrated outside of the Supreme Court Thursday morning while the Trump administration presented its case to the Supreme Court that district court judges should not have the power to issue nationwide injunctions against the president's executive order ending birthright citizenship.
We have our lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves.
Several justices took the government to task over the order, even though the merits of that case weren't before the Supreme Court.
The president is violating an not just one, but by my count, 4 established Supreme Court precedents.
The government argues the lower court rulings only apply to individuals suing, but some liberal justices pressed on how that could create a confusing patchwork of rules and affect what cases reach the Supreme Court.
The government has no incentive to bring this case to the Supreme Court because it's not really losing anything. It's losing a lot of individual cases which still allow it to enforce its EO against the vast majority of people to whom it applies.
But conservative justices appear to be swayed by government arguments that impacted individuals could band together and join a class action lawsuit.
If that mechanism is available, whether one way or another, doesn't that solve a large part of the problem?
A ruling on the case is not expected until late June or early July. Erica Brown, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett appeared to side with her liberal colleagues and questioned the government about the merits of the birthright citizenship issue. Still ahead, recycling shoes.
A second life for used shoes. I'm Cristian Benavides with how one company's mission is also helping the environment.
But first, in Health Watch, a free program rolls into towns across the U.S. offering skin cancer screenings right outside your door. Why doctors say catching it early can make all the difference. Topping today's Health Watch, skin cancer is the most common cancer in the U.S. Yet only a small percentage of adults say they've received a skin cancer exam. Prevention and early detection can reduce your risk, and that's why the Skin Cancer Foundation has created a program to make screenings more accessible. CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook has details.
Rainy, dreary spring weather didn't stop New Yorkers from lining up for free skin cancer screenings at this RV mobile site just blocks away from the Empire State Building. 32-year-old Megan Vasquez has never been screened for skin cancer before, but a questionable-looking mole on her leg got her attention.
Have you ever had a problem with your skin?
Vasquez has health insurance, but says skin cancer examinations were never top of mind.
I just noticed that the mole has had a darkened spot within the last year.
So point me in the right direction.
I just haven't been able to have the time. So when I saw that this was going to be here at 8:30 in the morning, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I'm available at that time.
The screening RV is part of the Skin Cancer Foundation's Destination Healthy Skin program. Launched in 2008, it brings skin cancer screenings directly to communities where access to a dermatologist may be limited. This year, the RV will visit at least 30 U.S. cities in at least 20 states, with volunteer dermatologists offering full-body skin exams and education about skin safety.
Our program here is all about saving lives and finding cancer early.
Dr. Deborah Sarnoff is president of the Skin Cancer Foundation.
Some people have insurance, but they can't afford the deductible, the copay, the co-insurance, and other people do not have insurance. And so this is a way to get a free skin exam, costing nothing, and to get educated about the signs, what to look for early detection.
Because most skin cancer can be cured when diagnosed and treated early. Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.
The stress of the death of a loved one or divorce, also known as broken heart syndrome, can lead to heart complications, even death. The American Heart Association found a surge of stress hormones caused by an emotionally traumatic event can lead to severe short-term heart failure. The rate of death is 6.5% and is twice as high in men. We might soon be able to treat an infant's genetic disorders in the womb. A study by UC San Francisco says there's growing evidence doctors can treat prenatal genetic disorders by injecting medicine into amniotic fluid. The treatments have only been tested on animals so far. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, a local HVAC expert shares one key tip to help keep your home comfortable year-round, even when the weather just won't make up its mind.
Plus a good temperature. Stick around, but also some thunderstorms. We'll look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Thursday for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine, temperatures into the lower 80s during the afternoon. We are watching some showers and thunderstorms just off to our south, and there is another weak little wave that is going to rotate out right out of southeastern Colorado and then start to push in tomorrow, produce big time severe weather to our east, but it could give us a few hit and miss storms on Friday morning. This evening's calm, tomorrow or into tomorrow morning is calm, but here's 8:30 in the morning. Our atmosphere gets very unstable very quickly. A couple little thunderstorms start to pop up and then press in and press east. Here's 9:30 in the morning. If these guys can get going, they could be strong to severe. Main threat would be large hail and also some gusty winds. Then they will quickly track out of the region as we go through the morning hours, getting over to Springfield, a few kind of back toward Monette and Cassville. Then the rest of the day looks pretty good. Plenty of sunshine. Temps into lower 80s for highs. So 61 to start, 79 by noon. High temp right around 83 during the afternoon hours. Winds still kind of breezy out there. Southerly winds pick up again late tonight into tomorrow morning. And then with our weak little front, they shift off toward the west as we go into the afternoon. We'll have gusts kind of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Looks okay, nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Upper 70s to near 80. That's where we sit right now through the evening, 70s into the 60s, a little bit cooler for us tonight. Let's move into Saturday. So we could get a few thunderstorms in here Saturday evening and night, but I really think most of the severe weather stays to our south. Sunday looks interesting. Severe threat, especially late Sunday afternoon into the evening hours, a little higher threat in our far western counties. Monday also looks interesting. Severe threat through the entire Central Plains, probably a little higher threat once you get into our southern counties, and then all this will shift east of us once we get into Tuesday. So a lot to watch as we go through the next few days. Let's look at Saturday. Again, most of the day is going to be dry. A few hit and miss storms trying to get up in here Saturday evening into Saturday night. So starting Sunday, a few scattered thunderstorms, but most of Sunday looks pretty good. And then thunderstorms will start to erupt out across central Kansas along that I-35 corridor and then press in. So this will be a daytime event, late afternoon into the evening hours, showers and thunderstorms Sunday night into Monday morning. And then we kind of reload, and here we go again. Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and Monday night into Tuesday morning. And then finally, we'll start to see this storm system pushing out of the region. 83 on your Friday, 81 Saturday, 83s Sunday and Monday, 75 on Tuesday. Then drying out, starting to cool down as we head toward the holiday weekend next weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be looking at that with a great deal of interest. They may be planning some outdoor activities. Doug, thanks. Springtime is here, or is it winter, or maybe summer? With temperature swings in the 4 states, sometimes it can be difficult to know what season you're in from day to day or hour to hour, and that can leave you switching between heat and AC on your thermostat at home, sometimes all on the same day. It can make it a challenge to keep your home at a comfortable level. One local HVAC expert says one thing that can help throughout the year is humidity control.
I would encourage people to add dehumidification to the house, a standalone dehumidifier that could remove humidity without changing the temperature of the house.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more tips on how you can stay comfortable inside when the weather outside is a bit uncomfortable. Coming up, the mission to keep old sneakers out of landfills and put them to use in communities around the world. Topping today's Consumer Watch, think twice before tossing those old kicks. Your sneakers could have a second life. Christian Benavides shows us a sneaker recycling program that's helping communities in the developing world get one step ahead while reducing the climate footprint.
Did want to recognize everybody who brought out a pair of shoes. This donation box at Miami's Brickell Run Club asks runners to recycle used sneakers that would otherwise wind up in the trash.
Typically on a weekly basis, we'll probably get, I don't know, maybe 20 pairs of running shoes that people are deciding to part ways with.
Frankie Ruiz is the Brickell Run Club's founder.
We collect them every week. We fill up probably one of these boxes once or twice a month.
The footwear, gathered from drop-off locations across the country, lands at a warehouse near Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood.
Something like this right here should never be tossed away.
This is Sneaker Impact's headquarters, where shoes are sorted to be reused or recycled, depending on their condition.
It's all about accountability, sending the right product to the right market. Sneakers are a necessity in developing country. It's a form of transportation.
All of the reusable shoes are shipped outside of the U.S., where they're eventually resold by mom and pop shops in the developing world, in places like Haiti, Honduras, Guatemala, and Bolivia.
You're not only reducing waste here at home, you're creating micro-business opportunities in developing countries.
Shoes not shipped out for resale are crushed to begin a second life as foam, rubber, or textiles.
Those could be made into flooring, into mats, into tiles, and we've also made a sandal from 85% sneaker foam.
Owner Mo Hatcham says his goal was to develop an environmentally friendly way to do business.
This is important. I mean, there is no planet B. Sneaker Impact should be the last resort. Reuse, upcycle, give to your neighbors.
Extending the life of sneakers to help people and the environment. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Sneaker Impact also has boxes in specialty running stores, universities, schools, and gyms. Uber has introduced a new bus-like route share service for communities. The company says route share costs up to 50% less than a traditional UberX. Here's how it works. Passengers are directed to meet shuttles at stops along a preset route at a set time, with vehicles running every 20 minutes. For now, route share is available only in 7 major cities between the busy rush hour times of 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., but it could be expanding. A final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a medical breakthrough in gene therapy has saved a baby's life. Who else could this treatment help? Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more advice from a local HVAC expert staying comfortable during these weather swings. And Pitt State Baseball plays its first NCAA tournament game. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Students from Anderson Middle School got a hands-on look at high-tech manufacturing today, touring Cooper Gear and Manufacturing in Anderson. 7th and 8th graders in the school's robotics program rotated through stations to see how robotics, automation, and precision machining work together in industry. Students were able to see many different types of equipment used to make parts for everything from autos to aircraft.
It makes me really excited. I hope for the future. A lot of people talk about the labor shortage. I think we got plenty of labor. We just got to expose them to what's out here and allow them to see. These are some really sophisticated equipment that they would be running and are running and make a really, really good career.
Visit is part of a district effort to connect classroom learning to careers in STEM. Hope exposure like this could spark future interest and inspire students. Sounds like a fun day for the students, certainly, and I'm sure for those others. The weather could be changing.
Yeah, some morning thunderstorms for us tomorrow that do have a chance to be low-grade severe, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Storms picking up again Saturday evening, a pretty good severe threat moving in Sunday, and then also into Monday.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.